So here's what's happening in this video. I'm going to be sending Jason, also known as DarkEclipticHeart, a donation, and I've thought of the perfect thing that I could make for him. Here's a quick little hint, and you can probably guess that I'm going to make his channel logo. So let's make it. So here I have a collection of balsa wood, and this is how I'm going to be making the logo. Balsa wood is a very, very light and brittle wood, and it's actually fairly expensive. This piece alone would probably be about $3. I'm not going to be using this thickness of wood. Instead, I'm going to be using 3/8 of an inch. It can be rather strong when it's thick, at least against the grain. But for stuff like this, it's really flexible. I mean, you can see that bend. It bends really easily. And I'm just using balsa wood because I can cut into it with an X-Acto knife, which is really awesome because you can do your own projects like I'm about to do, and you don't really need any tools other than an X-Acto knife, which is freaking awesome. So let's move on. Now I think I've gathered everything up I need to get this project done. For tools, I have 600 grit sandpaper for finishing, and some 150 grit sandpaper just for normal sanding. Then I have something with a square edge, such as this. I have something with a rounded edge to clean up the curves I'm going to be making inside of it. A pencil, obviously, an X-Acto knife, a paintbrush, and the Mickey circle thingy. I don't know what it's called. And as for materials, it's going to be fairly simple, just that piece of balsa wood and some acrylic paint. For the acrylic paint, I'm going to be using white, blue, and black. As you can see in the logo, it kind of has a fade from white to dark blue. So I'm not very good with changing the color of paints, but I'm going to try my best with that stuff. But I think it's time to start working on this project. Being that all YouTube channel logos are square, and this piece of wood is 3 inches in width, I've marked out 3 inches along here. I'm going to be cutting this into a 3x3 inch square. I need to do this very carefully because since balsa wood is very fragile, cutting against the grain is going to be really hard on it, so I need to go very slow. Check out how the cut turned out. Overall, this is actually probably one of my best ones. However, you can still see that there's a lip there. So I'm just going to put a piece of sandpaper flat, some of the 150 stuff, and then just shave that off. That looks much better. Now, as you can see, with the square, I've marked out the center of the entire square because I'm going to be putting down the circle that contains the letters. So I calculated that that takes up about half of the width of the entire icon, so yeah, I measured it out. I'm going to be using the circle making thingy, put this little piece in the center, and then just circling across very slowly. I want to make a very faint circle mark. So I made the outline for the outside circle, but I also went ahead and made the outline for the edge of the letters, because as you can see, on the inside of the outer circle, the shape of the letters is perfectly circular. So if I put that circle in, I could just mark exactly where the letters are going to be and make sure everything's on a right angle. So I marked down the letters for it, and as well as I just slightly indented it with the X-Acto knife. I changed the blade so it has a really fine tip, so it can get out there without creating any, I forget what it's called, but anyway, yeah, just to keep it nice and clean. At this point you may or may not be able to tell the similarities between the two. But now I'm going to use my rounded object to get inside of the grooves and then make it nice and smooth. And now you can really start to see the similarities between the two. After it's indented, you can actually see the different effects of lighting against it. But now I'm going to use my 600 grit sandpaper and just go over to the surface to make it smooth and get rid of all these ugly pencil marks. Sanding turned out pretty nice. It's really smooth on all sides. Don't worry about this, that's going to be painted over. But yeah, I think it's time to put on the black. But before we do that, I'm going to hand drill something right there so it can be hung by a nail. Looks very professional, actually. I like it. But anyways, the black layer of paint is going to go all on the back, all on all the sides, and just before this outer circle. I changed my mind with only doing the back and sides, so I did the entire thing because I realized that I could just put the white in right there, and there's black on the inside anyway, so, you know, why not do it like that? So I did. As you can see, the indent is still in there, and you can really see how it's going to look in the end if you have the right lighting. But now, what I'm going to do is take a very, very small screwdriver bit, pick up the white paint, and put it inside of the grooves to mark out the letters. So even with just the letters, it's looking so good. I mean, just like, it looks so real. But now it's time to do the white outline on the outside right here. And I want it accurate with the rest of the circle, so I'm going to mask the rest of this in a perfect circle, or at least try to get in a perfect circle, and then just kind of splotch a bit of paint on the outside of that. What I did to make the circle piece of masking was I took the circle making thingy, lined it back up to how it was with the actual project, and then I put it onto here, just making sure to change the angle because, you know, the roll of tape is circular itself. So yeah, and then now I can just hold that part after cutting it out, and there we go. Thought that was worth sharing because it worked out pretty well. And better yet, the masking fits perfectly. And this is how it looks after doing the white. Now it's just time to find the right shade of light blue and then put that on, as well as doing the dark blue. And now here it is with the light blue. All I have to do now to finish painting is put on the dark blue. I know it's not the best shade, but that's the paint I have, so I'm going to have to use it. And here it is with the dark blue. Now I know it doesn't look the best. The shades are way different. However, I still think I did really good with the letters and the overall shape of it. So there's one less step I'm going to do just so it's nice and strong and it won't dent. Right here I have some clear protective finish. I'm going to put this all over the project so that way it's not going to stain and it's going to protect it and make it look better. So as soon as that paint completely dries, I'm going to put that on. And here's the finished product. It looks pretty good, actually. I really appreciate the fact that I could get the scale nice and correct, and that, you know, it just looks good and it's a good size. The thing I am disappointed with, though, is that the shade of blue was not very accurate to the way it actually should be. By the way, this will be included in Jason's donation, so hopefully, I'm probably going to post this as soon as he receives the donation, just so it doesn't spoil what I'm giving him. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I will talk to you later.